Hi, I'm Brady, and welcome to the latest Tech Tip Thursday video. Today, I'd like to share some fun keyboard shortcuts with you, split into a few different categories. First one is the ones that most people know about, but not necessarily everyone. Second one is some less common ones that everybody should know about. And 3 and 4 are some awesome ones for Windows and Mac, respectively. So let's go ahead and dive in a little bit. Now, the ones that most people know about: copy, paste, cut, print, save, and select all, right? Now, for for those of you that don't know of them, copy and paste are either Control-C or Command-C, and Control-V or Command-V for paste, respectively. And what that's doing is you want it to stay somewhere, and you're copying that content to also show up somewhere else. And then the slight differentiator with cut is that you want it to no longer be where it's coming from and only where you want it to go, kind of thing. So the idea of copying versus maybe moving a file, or if you have a paragraph in a Word document and you want to move it from one place to another, you would cut and paste, versus if you wanted to duplicate it somewhere else, you would copy and paste. And to cut would be X, so Control X or Command X. And then again, paste would be Control or Command V. Now, Control would be for Windows, Command for Mac, right? And print is a really helpful shortcut for the print heavy among you. If you print a lot of pages and emails or files or whatever on a frequent basis, then knowing to do either Control or Command P to bring up the print menu saves a lot of time compared to finding the menu over and over again and going to file, print kind of thing. Same thing for saving files. Command or Control S saves the file. And select all is really helpful if you're trying to select all the files inside of a specific folder, or if you want to select everything on a page or everything within a file. And it's usually used in conjunction with things like copy and paste or cut and paste kind of thing. And to select everything on that screen is the keyboard command Control or Command A. So, less common ones everybody should know about: switching between programs. I actually I use this on such a frequent basis that I forget often to share it with other people, but I notice that a lot of people don't actually know how to do this. And the keyboard command is either to use Alt-Tab when you're using Windows, or on Mac, you can use Command-Tab. And by holding down either Alt or Command, whichever operating system you're using, and then just pressing Tab repeatedly, you can actually toggle between all your different windows that you have open, so you can switch to a different window or to a different program. Windows, it's a little bit more clean cut. Mac brings in a little bit of variance there, but the concept is between programs in Mac. And for Windows, you can just use it for any window of any kind. If you wanted to bring up a new window, again, I don't see very many people using the keyboard for this. They'll figure out how to open another window by double-clicking somewhere, or by right-clicking and finding a way to launch another window. They're doing it the long way. And a quick way that you can actually do it in a lot of cases is the Control or Command combo with the letter N, as in napkin, or as in new window. Now, if you wanted to open a new tab in your web browser, so if you use Safari, or if you're using Chrome or Firefox or whatever it is you use, normally you have the ability to have multiple tabs in your browser window. And if you wanted to add another tab quickly, instead of going and finding the plus sign and clicking on it, you can actually do Control or Command T to open a new one. And again, tends to save a lot of time. And relating to that, if you wanted to close the window or browser tab that you might have open, Control or Command W will close that window, right? And it'll treat a tab as its own kind of sub window in that case. So Command W or Control W will close just that tab instead of the whole window. Now, I talked in a couple minutes ago about copying and pasting information, and very common thing that I see a lot of people do is they'll copy and paste it, and then they have some kind of formatting glitch or bug. If they're copying it from a spreadsheet into a Word file or vice versa, and it looks awful because it decided to try and bring over whatever formatting was going on, whether it was larger text, different background, the cells themselves, whatever was going on, you get all that garbage along with the actual information that you want to copy and paste. So if you want to paste without all of that formatting, you would actually do, instead of doing Control V or Command V, you would have to add Shift into that mix. So you would do Control Shift V or Command Shift V. And doing that will do a paste without all of the extra formatting, which is very helpful when you're transferring between different sources and destinations. And then it's not really a keyboard command, but it is certainly a keyboard shortcut that I don't see very often used, but saves me a ton of time. And that's when you're in any kind of web page that's asking for information in multiple different text boxes. So whether you're filling out an address or plugging in a credit card, or even just filling in first name, last name information, tab. If you're starting off, say, with your first name and you type out Brady, and then you want to go to the last name, which is the next field anyway, I see most people click down to last name instead of just hitting the tab key. You're already typing, so all you have to do is reach over and hit tab, and you're still type. And so you go Brady, tab, Helkin, tab, phone number, tab, email address, and so on. And it saves a lot of time. So I think everybody should know about that one. All right, some awesome ones, and I'll start with Windows. These are really great if you want extra functionality for various things. So one thing that I see a lot of people do is that if they're trying to get down to their desktop to find an icon and they have a bunch of windows open, they'll just start minimizing all of the different windows, or they'll close all the windows. You can do it quickly if you do, there's a little Windows key. It looks literally like the Windows logo. And if you do that with the letter D for desktop, you'll just jump straight to the desktop. Everything gets minimized right out the gate, and you're there. So it's a much faster way of getting there if you have a lot of stuff open. Same keyboard modifier, that Windows key. If you do that with R, you bring up the run window. Now, that's more helpful for people that like to run the same program over and over and over again, that they maybe want to open up command prompt or the programs or printers or whatever. So not for everybody, but it's still a pretty cool one to learn and know. Lock is another great one. If you wanted to not log out of your entire computer, but still have it make you put in the password. So say if you needed to go to the bathroom really quick and you don't have a lot of time to futz around with going and logging out or going to Control-Delete and saying, hey, lock, you can just do Window key L for lock, and it will just instantaneously lock your screen. So it'll require your password when you come back. And it's a really, really fast way of doing it, so you don't have to do a sequence of things and look for something or close everything so that you can log out. You don't have to do any of that. You just lock it and walk away. If you wanted to launch programs from the taskbar pretty quick, your taskbar is, you have your start menu, and then just to the right of that, that's your taskbar. And everything has an actual number, even though it doesn't say it does. So the very first icon that you see to the right of your start menu is going to be 1. And the second one after that, to the right of that one, is going to be 2, and so on. And you can use the window key with the number to automatically launch that program. So if you have your web browser as the third slot, doing window key 3 will actually open your web browser. So it's really fun when you kind of have something in the same position all the time to start memorizing what that number is going to be, and you can just do window key and the number and launch it nice and quick. And then we've got a couple of other things. If you wanted to open up Windows Explorer, which is a way of going to your program, not your programs, but your files and folders and documents, downloads, that kind of thing, window key E opens up a computer window pretty much instantaneously, and then you have that bar along the left where you can find what you're looking for. If you're looking for something in Dropbox, or if you're looking for, your Google Drive, or your downloads or whatever, you'll find it. But you can open up the window really quickly just by you doing window key E. And then another one that is really helpful for people, especially if your natural tendency when somebody like myself would ask you for a screenshot, if your first instinct is to take a picture with your phone and send me that, then this is for you. Print screen. And there is almost always an actual key on your keyboard that literally will say PRNT, or what does it say? PRTSCN is what mine says, and some keyboards actually will spell out fully print screen. If you just hit that key, then you're actually able to paste into something like Paint or Word or whatever your choice is there, an image of your screenshot. It copies it, essentially. You still need to paste it somewhere, so Control V would be helpful at that point as a follow-up. But that print screen takes the image of the background of, or takes the image of your screen of whatever it's showing, so you can send it to somebody. All right, that was a lot, and now there's only one more section here that I wanted to talk about, which is the Mac keyboard commands that are really helpful. So if you're a Mac user and you've been patient this long, here you go, here's a few fun ones for you. One is how to quit out apps. Now, if you're a Mac user and have been for a while, you might have noticed by now that if you hit the X for a program, it doesn't actually quit the program, it just closes the window. The program will continue running in the background. And if you have a slower computer because of a lot of memory usage, you're going to want to quit out of the programs more often. And if that means that you usually go to the file menu, or not the file menu, the application window, right? So if you have Google Chrome open, you go to the Chrome menu, and then you can say quit. You'll notice that there's a little Apple logo in the Q there, and that is there to show you that there's a keyboard command. It's Command Q. That's what that Apple logo is. Actually, it's not an Apple logo, is it? I think it's 4 different squares. I think it's 4 small squares. But at any rate, Command Q will quit out of the program. And another fun one for those of you that need to find programs that normally you would open up Finder and go to your applications and hunt around for the program you're looking for, you can do it much quicker by doing a spotlight search. Now the spotlight is the magnifying glass in the upper right corner of your screen, but you can also do the keyboard command, Command Space, the space bar. And that'll actually bring up the spotlight search right away. And because you're using the keyboard command, it's already ready for you to start typing. So you do Command Space and start typing for the name of the program you're looking for. And then once you start seeing the result for the program you're looking for, all you have to do is Enter, and you'll actually launch that program. And I talked about screenshots on Windows. So for Mac, you have 2 different options for that. You can either do a full screen screenshot, or you can do a specific area of your screen where you can actually drag and drop a selection of the screen that you want to do a snippet for. And so the keyboard commands for that are Command-Shift-3 for the full screen. And if you wanted a partial, you would do Command-Shift-4. Lastly, if you needed to bring up the force quit menu, which is kind of like doing the task manager in Windows. So if you have a freezing program and you can't seem to click on menus, you can actually bring up the force quit menu by doing Option Command Escape. And while I'm on that topic, for those of you on Windows that are wondering if there's a shortcut for Taskbar, there is. It's Control Shift Escape. So that'll bring up the force quit menu, and you can actually choose the program that's hanging and actually force quit that program. And that'll allow you to get control back over your Mac again, which is really helpful in certain circumstances. So this was a lot of information, but that's it for today's video. You can go ahead and rewatch this as many times as you want and kind of go over certain sections more often so that you can go ahead and practice these, and I definitely recommend that. And in the meantime, don't forget to like and share this video, particularly if there's others that you think would benefit from these keyboard shortcuts. And thanks for watching. I'm Brady Helkin with BH Tech Connection, and I'll talk to you again next time.